So these are our Italian honeybees. We have 7 hives this year. Some are better than others. So this is one of our hives taking some honey off this hive, so they're just getting ready for the winter. We're about 12 to 15,000 bees per hive. So, you know, we have 7 hives, and, you know, if you're 12,000 bees, you're somewhere between 85 and 105,000 bees up here. The chef before me built all this. So it's just kind of to protect it from the direct sun, kind of give it a bit of shade. Each one of these hives in the summertime can get really hot, so for the bees to be better producing of honey, we want to create a bit of shade so it's not in direct sunlight. Being on the roof, there's really no natural shade for them, so we built these shaded roofs. And a bit of smoke, it actually like calms the bees down. So this one, you can see there's a couple different. So this one's getting full. This one here, really they're still looking to fill this one. You can see that there's no real honey in it at all. Just finishing filling that one there. On the bottom and capping along the top. And on this side they've capped it. So what happens is, you know, they come in and they fill these with honey, and then they buzz around to get all the moisture out. Once they get it down to the moisture content they want, around about 17 or 18% moisture in the honey, they're going to put a cap on it, and that seals it so that it doesn't allow any moisture to come in, and then they have it for their honey reserve. This is when we're looking for to be taking off the honey, and then when we keep it in a warm spot, and then when we extract it, we literally scrape the wax top off and put it in a cylinder that spins like an upright dryer, like a centrifuge, and it literally comes out and goes into the buckets below. Like this that are just producing massive amounts of honey, and this probably weighs about 6 or 7 pounds per frame. So I have 9 frames in here, so we're looking at anywhere from 48 to 50 pounds a box. When you get about 10 or 12 boxes, you get 300 pounds of honey. The bee stings were great for his arthritis, so the amount of bee stings I got today, I shouldn't have any arthritis for the next week. So this is the season where you got to watch it, right? So they're getting, even though it's getting later in the season, so they're thinking someone's robbing the hive, right? A month ago, I could go into that hive, no problem. I didn't even need my suit. And typically it wouldn't sting me, but we're getting towards the end of August, and I'm taking the honey off. Typically I would have took it off this week. I just left it an extra week this year. And as we're getting a little later, it's getting to the end of the season, so they're kind of preserving their stores. Like in the wild, if there was a bear or somebody looking for food to get food for the winter or to get food to hibernate, they would be going and trying to find that, and that's a natural instinct. So later in the year, they're defending their hive because that's their honey reserves that they worked hard for. It's how they're going to survive. So they're kind of protecting what they own. So this is to get their spatial orientation with the sun so that they can fly out about 2.5 miles away, collect nectar, and then fly back, and then they'll find this hive. So if I was to move this hive over there during the day, they would be lost because they wouldn't know, because they've kind of figured out how to get back by like their GPS is the sun. But if you move this around, they won't know where to go. And they always go back to the same hive because they go back to the same queen because they could have a scent. So yeah, so we created this new project this year of, taking our garden from small 3-bed garden to, expanding it into 13 raised beds. We made them so that we could stand and garden standing up so they didn't hurt our back, so we made them smart. We put in drip irrigation. Irrigation system up here was a big help this year, and it just we just flourished. We did a partnership with Cedar Grove. We send them our recycled food waste, and they then compost it. Then we get it back. So there's 14,000 pounds of recycled soil up here from our food waste that we partnered with them with to get it back, and it's just made our garden flourish. And then we just kind of randomly picked a few different items this year to see what would grow best. The funny thing is if you water something, it will grow, and we've seen that basically anything will grow up here. But our biggest producers have been our cherry tomatoes and our pepper plants on the end, as well as our flowers that we grow and our herbs to accent our dishes. These ones are extremely spicy, so we're gonna make some really cool hot sauces and chutneys with them. This is one we found, it's actually called the Sriracha Pepper, where they make the Sriracha hot sauce. We're gonna attempt to make our own version with this year and see how that works out for us. And then we have our sweet banana peppers. And you always get a little bug. These are good little bugs. We don't use any pesticides up here, so little bugs like this that are eating all the insects on the plants are fantastic for us. Instead of spraying with anything, we just let those guys thrive. These guys we've been charring and then pickling for later in the season to use in our fall menus as we go through. So something, grow it in the summer and then use it in the fall and the winter, which is kind of nice to have something that you typically wouldn't find. And then we have our jalapenos in here, both green and red. So a little matured jalapeno goes red, and then we still have the green ones. So a couple different varieties of peppers, and we're gonna try some different things this year with them and see where it takes us.